Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the video.
You said that already.
Cause I'm gonna edit that out.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I am Crystal, RealNester, and this is James, RealNester.
James, Coffee, RealNester.
And we are back on our favorite day of the week, Married at First Sight. Yay! You forgot, you the one with the name. I think it's Caution. What was it? I should have played that off a little better, but he the one put the coffee in his mouth.
Caution, feelings approaching.
So, ladies and gentlemen, y'all know how we do this. We give y'all a blow by blow in between the commercial breaks of what is happening. We break it down, and then we give y'all a little seasoning of our opinion about what just happened. So, today, what does it look like they do? So we just see Brett and who we seen before Brett?
They only showed two, Jose and Rachel.
Oh, okay. Let's start with Jose and Rachel. You guys, I know many of you guys are out there very sad because of the blow up between Jose and Rachel. They started,
week.
Yeah, everybody.
Real nasty.
Excuse me. Usually, everybody. If you look at the history of the show, for all those people who start hot and heavy, a lot of them don't end that way. Mm-hmm. That's usually the pattern of this. Mm-hmm. So they started hot and heavy, and everybody's like, yeah, yeah. And all the other couples were a little jealous. They like, oh, look at them. They can't keep their hands over each other. But the first big incident was a big incident. So if you don't know, short of it is, Jose blew up on Rachel and locked her out week before last. And then last week, you know, he tried to spread it out to everybody like, oh, she called me another guy's name and da-da-da-da-da. And the fellas was not having it. They held him accountable and was like, dude, get yourself together. It's okay. Yeah. Like, get it together. So this week, this is the first time after that blow up that they were sitting down together. Yeah. And all Rachel really wanted was a sincere apology. Now, he said he's been texting her on and off saying he loved her, he want to get back with her, he wants it to work. But she said all she wanted was a sincere apology. And he's like, I apologize, you're going to keep talking about this. She was like, until it's sincere. Because her issue was, not only did he lock her out, he didn't check for her. You know, like, you know, if you get up in the morning, you realize she's still not home. He never called to find out where she was. So she finally got her sincere apology. And she looks like she's...
You think it was sincere?
She at the end.
Okay.
When he said to her...
But one more thing, though. She gonna be out. One more thing. She gonna be done.
I think
it's gonna be a done deal.
I think if he come at her aggressive again.
Oh, yeah.
Because she said in the beginning...
That's a sign of what's to come.
Yeah, and that's a sign of what she's been through. Yeah. So she's allowed people to walk all over her because the partner has been way more aggressive towards her. So she's kind of silent. And one of her big reveals in being ready to get married was that she's no longer a doormat for her lover. That person would have to... be gentle towards her. Because she's not aggressive. Even in her anger, talking to Jose just now, she never really raised her voice. Yeah. You know, she was just like, I want an apology. I don't feel like this is fair. I don't want to be married to a man who's going to, be aggressive. And he also said to her, I get it, but I need you to understand that when something is happening and I don't want to talk about it, let me calm down first because my words are going to cut you.
Yeah.
So, and after that, he apologized and said he really wanted to work on it. And that's when she said, okay, now that's a sincere apology and I do forgive you.
Yeah, yeah.
So they look like they may be getting back on the right track. But I think it also took for the fellas to make him see that he blew that situation out of proportion. Not her. Not her. So, second was Brett and Ryan. Now, you guys, from the beginning, I've been saying they're the wild card because to me they're both very mute.
Yeah.
And even in the scenes with each other and with their family, if y'all notice, we don't really talk about them a super lot because it doesn't seem like they're giving off much.
Yeah.
Now, I do know that Brett has feelings for Ryan and she really likes him, but Ryan, which is funny, is because his family said he's a lover. He falls in love just like that with the next girl, he's a lover.
Yeah.
But he, in somewhere in his mind, Brett is not his picture perfect girl.
Yeah.
That's what his issue is. He keeps saying he's waiting for the butterflies. Like at first he was like, ooh, I can't wait to have sex. I can't. But it just hit me.
What?
I know what's wrong with him.
What?
The same thing with Johnny and Bao. Except for Johnny can voice his opinion.
Yeah.
Remember he said on the plane, that's when it started with him. Remember she was freaking out or something on the plane?
Yeah.
And then I think coming back, and then she was freaking out when they was doing a couple of activities.
With the manta?
Yeah. He said
that was Jose, was it?
No. That was Brett and Ryan.
Yeah.
And he said later on in his interview, he said if I was dating her, I'd be already out. He said because he was like, I'm already pretty, calm. He said, but I feel like I have to go even calmer to deal with her because she's high strung.
And he don't want nobody that's he like doing all the activities and stuff that he like to do. So he don't want nobody that's not gonna be like with it.
Well, she was. She even said it. She said, I'm better doing this with you because he's calm, so it helps her keep balance. But I think now that I think about it, that's what his problem is. She turned him off because he feel like she's high strung and he's more chill. That's what it is. But he can't put it into words because Dr. Viviana tried to talk to him about it last week.
Yeah.
And actually, I don't even remember what happened after she told Brett to leave the room. Did they even show us what happened after?
No, they went to commercial break.
Yeah, and I don't remember what happened after that. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the show is always starting hot and heavy. A big jump off from last week. And we'll be back after this commercial break.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is going down in them DMs.
Breaking news.
I don't even know what to start. We got so many things. I think we went through 2 or 3 commercial breaks.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna start this time.
But no, but you got to start with Michaela and Zach.
Ryan and Brett. They start with Ryan and Brett and the sick dog.
No, that's not what you never talked about.
Okay,
Michaela
you go with Ryan and Brett.
No, you go ahead with Ryan and Brett.
Oh, Michaela and Zach. Yeah.
See? Oh, let's go with Ryan and Brett. You already said it. Let's just, short.
All I got was Brett's dog was sick, so she was upset about her dog throwing up and being sick.
Yeah, Brett.
That was pretty much it, right?
Oh no.
They had the little where she put the clue.
Yeah, what is it called? Scavenger hunt.
Scavenger hunt. Yeah.
Ryan created a little house scavenger hunt for Brett, basically to try to tell her how he feels. It was really cool because she said he's better at writing his feelings than actually talking about it. So basically, he wrote her a note at the end of the scavenger hunt saying, he like how she is, keep up the good work. She got a great personality, and then he gave her a gift card to go somewhere, which she was super excited about.
Yeah.
So at least he's trying. Because she did let him know, like, she need more effort from him. Because she already know how she feel. He's not revealing how he feels. So, Yep. But as always, the wild couple. I still don't know if they're going to stay together or break up. It looks like break up to me. I still don't think. I'm leaning towards, I'm 50% no on D-Day.
Yeah.
But anyway, who's next?
Michaela and Zach.
Well, so So let's start from the date.
Salsa dancing.
Yeah, Michaela and Zach went salsa dancing with Mirla and Gail.
Salsa practice dancing, I guess.
No, that's
class. Salsa class.
Yeah. So, which I thought.
Because somebody didn't dance.
Right. Like, can we get to that point?
Go
which I thought was pretty cool because Michaela and Zach have had so many issues, but they have never really done the couple thing. Because Michaela does what Mirla does. Sometimes at the group events, they don't show up.
Mm.
So, okay. So they go salsa dancing. And do you want to start off before I break it down?
No, go ahead. You break the whole thing down.
They went salsa dancing, their double date. And as they're, the instructor giving them the basic instructions. Now, before they get there, Zach is super excited. And he's like, listen, we're going to have to dance and look better than them, because they're going to know what they doing. He was like, we're going to work on this so we can get... And Gil actually picked this. He's very strategic. You guys, when everybody was talking about how great Gil was, I was like, no, this guy is really a gentleman and a cool person. He really thinks things through.
Yeah.
So the reason why he picked salsa dancing, because he said him and Mirla been together for a while, and salsa dancing is about following each other's lead and each other's rhythm and tempo. So he actually picked this to see how well they were going to dance together, follow instructions together. So I thought that was pretty cool. And needless to say, my baby girl Michaela got the first couple of instructions, and then she sit down and left her husband standing on the dance floor by himself, and he had to dance with a man instructor. I said, see, what would have got her butt back up out that seat is if that was a woman instructor and not a man. Most of the time, when they do couples, a man and a woman instructor are there, so they can help lead both parties. But so poor Zach had to dance with a guy who was a little taller than him. I know he did not appreciate that. And so
he had to lead Zach into the right directions.
Yeah, and so what ended up happening, which I love, you guys, I tell y'all all the time, I love my boy Gil. When they sat down, Gil pulled Michaela's card right away. He
got on him.
Yeah, he's like, is this an example of what your marriage looks like? And you could tell she was really frustrated, but she realized she couldn't disrespect him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She was holding it back, and she was looking over at Zach kinda, I think, why don't you say something? But I think Gil stepped in to say something so Zach didn't get in trouble. Because he was trying to initiate conversation. Like, well, what happened? Which you didn't like this? He was trying to initiate, but he didn't want to hit a bone with her. You could tell.
He didn't want to go too far with it.
Yeah, and Gil jumped in and handled the business. So basically, Michaela says, our relationship is at a stalemate.
Yeah.
And Zach is like, I thought we were moving along. So those two are day and night in their relationship. And Zach did make a comment to the camera that he should have figured this is how it was going to turn out because Michaela is so up and down, with everything. But Michaela shared that one of her issues was that Zach had said he didn't really see a future with her, and he couldn't see no light at the end of the tunnel. But Gil, kind of translated for them both. He basically said to Zach, if I was Michaela, I probably would feel the same way. But at the same time, he was telling Michaela, but he's still here. He's still trying. He's not saying that it's over, but y'all got to work towards it. So that's where that kind of landed at. But I love that my boy Gil was there for them to, give them some encouragement. But poor Zach, he's thinking dang, we were supposed to be having a great night and this turned into a bus.
Yeah.
So while we on Mirla and Gil, let's keep going with them. So they had a beautiful Gil set up. It's their 1 month anniversary, by the way, you guys.
Yeah, let me start off.
Can I tell about the glasses first?
The who? Oh yeah, go ahead.
It's everybody 1 month anniversary now. This is after salsa dancing. So for Mirla and Gail's 1 month anniversary, he did a surprise wine tasting. So the coolest part was when he took out the car, he said, "I have to blindfold you." But he took some glasses and just glued rose petals on them. Because y'all know that this lady be like, "I can't put that on my lashes. I can't do this. I can't do that."
Yeah.
So it's funny, like he's already thought of what she's gonna say and how he could fix it before she could say it. Yeah. I thought that was super cool. Now you could go back.
And then once they got there and he took the glasses off, they were at a vineyard for basically a nice spread out wine tasting with cheese and crackers.
And her favorite cookies.
And
she liked the maroon or whatever those cookies called. He got her like a tree of them.
Yep, go down there. So a nice little spread, nice little layout. And so far, I guess they're gonna come back with a little bit more. But so far, she has no complaints.
She actually
was satisfied with
that.
everything.
She actually said it, you guys. She told the camera people, "This is nice," and she smiled. Yeah. Come on, let's give it up. Let's give it up for Mirla.
She did say right before he took the glass off that I hope we're not in the sun.
Yeah, she was trying. Yeah. She was trying. So they did have a strong conversation because Gil don't play. He jumped right into it. All right, we 1 month in. How you feeling?
Yeah.
Because this is how I'm feeling. And he basically let her know that he doesn't like her negative attitude.
Yeah.
And that he feels like she gets pouty like a kid. Yeah. He was like, "This must be what it feel like, to have kids." And she goes, "You comparing me to kid?" And he's like, "Yeah, when you start being pouty and negative." And she just chuckles away. He said, "I'm just letting you know how I feel." So I shared with the hubby, and I'm going to share with you guys what I think. They actually might make it as to D-Day is what we call it. Yeah. When they have to make a decision, or divorce day, however you want to see it. Because I was telling hubby, I think I figured it out. Mirla is being obnoxious on purpose.
Yeah.
Like we keep, talk about her being an a-hole and blah, blah, blah. No, I think she's doing it on purpose because I think she's saying, if I'm bringing you, like all the things that annoy other people about me, if I'm bringing that to you up front and you stay with me after this, then we can go the long haul.
Yeah.
And she actually complimented Gil a couple of times in the camera interview. She said, he was more than what she's asked for. She's very happy. She's enjoying herself. He makes her happy. He makes her smile. Yeah. And you actually could see her getting a little dreamy-eyed when she's looking at him. She made a joke to him about, "You survived the Venus flytrap for a whole month." So like just seeing her chuckling. I was telling the hubby, if you say something about somebody's personality that is true, they're more likely to be offended because they don't want to admit it's their truth. But she was chuckling at the whole thing, which lets me know it's not who she is, but it's who she can be. And she's giving him the worst of her up front. So yeah, that was good. And they look like they were still on the date. So also, like I told y'all, we skipped a couple of commercial breaks. Bao and Johnny. Right?
Yeah.
1 month anniversary, they decide to jump out to skydive together.
Ooh, yeah.
So it was pretty funny. Bao was super excited. They both were strapped to other people. They jumped. They had a great time. And then they went to lunch, I guess, or dinner. And Bao was actually excited once they landed. And she was saying, being with Johnny makes me giddy. That's what she said. She said being with him, and then she started pointing out all the times over this month that they've been together that she just got super excited because her and Johnny are doing so well and spending time together.
Yep.
But, you guys, at lunch, they get to talking a little bit, and Bao basically said, "I need you to touch me more." And it seemed like Johnny got real irritated with her. Yeah. I mean, he started to turn red around his neck.
Yeah.
And she was saying to him,
Get that little tick.
Yeah, she said, when I was telling you my little situation about work or whatever, she was like, I really needed a hug. So then she said, well, you know what? I'll take responsibility. Maybe I should have just said to you, I need a hug right now. She said, but I didn't want to be rejected by you because it seemed like the moment was already set up. And he was like, yeah, okay, okay.
Mm.
Like, from that point on, it seemed like he had pretty checked out the conversation. Like, he was real agitated with her. And then they showed a camera interview, and he said, Bao just doesn't get it.
Well,
And
now I just thought about something though. Could it be possible that it might be a cleanliness thing with Bao? Because remember she said I only like to take shower like once a week or something like that.
no, but
Could
she
it be like a clean?
no, I don't
Is
think
he not up to his cleanliness standard?
no, I don't think so
he-
because
he
she even said it. She said, she was like, I'm stretching myself. I'm doing all the things you asked me to do.
Yeah.
She remember in the interview, she said, just throw me a bone already. You know, like I think he was upset because she said, touch me more, like in a giddy type way.
Yeah.
And he said, Bao just don't get it. And then they played the little interview back when he was saying he didn't like when she get giddy.
But he just need to loosen up.
I think so.
He just need to loosen up.
And then she asked, could they cuddle more? And then he came up with this excuse about they're both hot people, and if they cuddle, she's gonna make him sweaty.
Yeah.
So what I came to the conclusion is, and you guys, I love Johnny, but I come to the conclusion that he's very selfish in this relationship. And he said it at the beginning. He said, I want somebody to hit my butt. I want somebody that's going to do this to me and that to me. And I want the woman to be so in love with me that all I have to do is return it.
Yeah.
So I guess he's trying to make sure he gets what he wants. But in the meantime, Bao was feeling left in the cold. Like she's not getting what she needs from him. And I'm not liking that. But, and it seemed like they both left the conversation pretty sad, to be honest.
Yeah.
So we're going to pop back on because, that was about 3 commercials worth. We'll be back. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. And some kind of way we got all twisty-turny up. Okay, so we are behind a little bit. But anyway, I'm just going to jump right into this thing. I'm not going to speed talk, though, because y'all going to miss something. So let's start off with the easiest couple, as always, is Brett and Ryan.
Brett and Ryan?
That poor Brett had to put her doggy down. He was sicker than what she knew. It was kind of like an instant thing. So, and that ended up landing on month-iversary.
Yeah. Month-iversary, if you don't know, is the 30-day mark of them being married. Month-iversary.
Yes. So, she collected herself and went on a date with Ryan. Ryan took her to a movie theater in which he rented out for him and her. It was a fancy theater, and they watched their wedding video. She was pretty happy, and she felt progress, you could tell, and relieved all was well on her end. But Ryan, now you could tell he's starting to feel dread. Like he's there, he see the smile on her face, but
He's trying hard, but he get to the point to where he can't even fake it no more.
Yeah, it's like he already tapped out.
Yeah. And he didn't say it was leveling out. He said it's getting worse.
Yeah, he said it's getting worse for him. He said
now, have they gotten busy yet?
No.
So he ain't gonna he probably ain't gonna get busy with her.
Yeah, well, cause she's waiting for it. She mentioned that. He said basically he he had more feelings for her at the altar when he first met her than he do now. Yeah. So yeah, that's how that ended. So y'all know they are finally no longer the wild card. They are getting the big D.
So they're gonna be down goes Frazier.
So let's hop into Mirla and Gail. I am sorry, girl, for keep hammering your name. I don't even know why. It's not even that complicated. Anyway, they had part 2 because we told you earlier in the video about part 1 of their anniversary. Yeah. They had part 2. Yeah. Part 1, Gail set up. Part 2, Mirla set up. Gail was out doing something. She set the apartment up. Oh, he went to go pick up some special t-shirts he bought him and her. Yeah. And she set up the apartment all nice and sweet with rose petals. And she said she wanted to return the favor for how awesome he was earlier that day. From the experts, they framed their vows out for them. So they read their vows back and forth to each other, and they was, talking about how it meant so much more now because they've spent some time together and been able to put some action behind it. They was looking at their wedding album. They was talking about how good they look together. And then they cut back to them, because y'all know your boy Gil is pretty funny. He said, "Oh, her anniversary gift is finally here," and he opens it, and it's a pooper scooper. He said, "Well, she said she wanted something sleek." Like, them two is crazy.
Yeah.
You know, they are pretty. If they stay together, it would be really cool because they are pretty funny together. That's what you gotta do.
I think they're gonna stay together now.
It's possible. It's still real possible. It depends on, but
Ryan and Brett is definitely a no.
They're definitely a no. I still think Michaela and Zach is a no, to be honest.
That's a no.
Well, honest, let's pipe right in there. Michaela and Zach month-iversary.
Yeah.
Michaela
piano date. It started with the piano date.
I was about to say that Michaela set up a piano date at a real studio.
Yeah.
And Zach was super appreciative and impressed that she did that. You know, he was like, "Oh, you know, this shows me how much she loves me." Like, where did the L word come from, ladies and gentlemen? Yeah, he said that during his interview.
Sound a little fatal attractionist.
Probably. Yeah. And then they were sitting down talking, you know, as they are prompted to do, to ask, "Okay, we're a month in, how do you feel?" Michaela basically shared that she learned that she was self-sabotaging herself. And she tried a cute way to say it, and Zach was like, "Self-sabotage." And they both chuckled. And they both seemed pretty happy. Then they ended up cutting out and cutting back, and they had a nighttime part 2 anniversary. And Zach rented out a hotel and had it decorated like their wedding night. So Michaela was pretty impressed about that. Yeah. And he threw her on the bed like he did wedding night. In Michaela's interview, she said that she thinks not that she thinks, but that she loves Zach. And
until they do something else.
And they pretended like they were sleepy so they could do adult things and get that crew out of that room.
Yeah, it's down in them DM covers.
And then 2 hours later,
they went out to eat.
Yeah.
Late night eat, like, what, 4 o'clock, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So you know what that is. You get the munchies after getting it in.
Yeah, they both seem really happy. The only thing, Zach is actually realizing that he has a more negative tone, I guess.
Yeah. He
did mention to Michaela, he appreciate her working through her stuff to deal with him, because he is realizing now that the words that he's putting out is more negative than positive in their relationship. But he did tell her the only one thing he hates is that in the middle of the day she blasts Carly B while he trying to work.
And last but not least, Jose and Rachel at the ballpark.
Oh yes, my Jose and Rachel. One thing just before the month-iversary though. So they had an earlier little scene where I told you guys he apologized. Well, they popped back to them a little later, and to prove to her that he was going to put his apology into action.
Cards.
Yeah, he wrote himself note cards. And the first one, because he's a smart behind, said, "Don't lock my wife out."
Yeah.
And then he'll work on checking on his wife. He would work on being less controlling, and he will work on his listening skills.
Yeah.
So what I learned from this and what I wrote is Jose realized he is not perfect.
Yeah.
Because he said it, he thought he had all of this together and he was super prepared. But actually being in the relationship now, he realizing that he got some work to do.
Yeah.
So for their month-iversary, when they pop back later, he blindfolded Rachel and he took her to a baseball field. For you guys who don't know, it was super romantic and cool to her because she loves baseball. And he had these,
And don't forget that Rachel has a fear of balls in her face.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Yes, I did marry him. I didn't know, but I did marry him. Anyway, they was out there throwing the ball around. You could have at least put that part in there first. And she, of course, made a little joke about she has a fear of balls in her. She was super excited, and they'll talk about their marriages, that they can actually see a future. They glad that their big blow up wasn't the end. And finally, he looks over and he says to her, "Okay, I think we should have separate bank accounts." And she said, "That's what I've been telling you the whole time." He was like, "Yeah, I really don't listen, do I?" So, they ended in a really good, sweet spot. So, what my husband loves to say to you guys, the next time y'all see us, we will be wrapping this thing up.
We'll be back for the conclusion.
Alright, guys and girls and ladies and gentlemen, I told you we would be back to wrap this thing up.
Yes, sir.
So let's start with the singles first. They ended the night on a group dinner. But before we go there, we're gonna hit the last couple, I believe. So they had this. It's funny how they do the inserts a little bit. Bao and Johnny were the first to get married on the show, and it seems like they always do everything kind of with them first, and then everybody else follows. So tonight they had a little insert of them two going to meet with their separate friends to talk about their marriage. Johnny went to see a friend named Kim. And basically, she said that Johnny's super focused on all the negatives.
Yeah.
So she tried to help him brainstorm a little bit on what he could do to initiate some things with his wife. And he actually, guys, was confused about what she was saying.
Yeah.
He asked her, well, what should I do? How should I do it? All right.
She didn't even know.
Well, she was saying, like, well, tell me about her. So evidently, it seemed like he didn't know enough information to give her for her to give him the good advice. And you know how these editors do. They so disrespectful. In the meantime, when, Kim, which was Bao's friend, Johnny's friend, asked him one question, they'll pop over to Bao talking to her friend, kind of answering that question. So, Bao thing was she feels like, Johnny wants intimacy, but he's not willing to give it.
Yeah.
And one of the things he shared with her at the beginning of their marriage is that if you give me intimacy, it will be easy for me to reciprocate. But yet, he's having a hard time reciprocating it.
Yeah.
And Bao was telling her friend, her love language is basically acts of service. And she's definitely not getting any of that from Johnny. I think that was
before the dinner.
Yep, that was before the dinner. Hold
no,
on.
Ryan and Brett had the movie date.
We already talked about that.
Okay.
I'm making sure I got all my notes, guys, because sometimes I get to the end. Because I have two sets of notes, the past to present, because I want to do a good summary just before D-Day. Which y'all can say is divorce day or decision day, however you want to choose.
Exactly. What? 3 weeks left now.
Yeah. Okay.
A month.
Yeah, a month. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's break into. They had a couples
dinner.
I guess them to celebrate their anniversaries together, and everybody actually was there. Let's clap for that first. Yeah, because somebody usually always pills out, aka Michaela or Mirla,
yep.
So it starts off with Zach and Michaela, which I was pretty surprised because Gil usually jumps right into the water.
Yeah.
But, he actually did initiate the conversation. He said, do you guys feel like you've fallen in love or like with your partner?
Yeah.
So Zach said that he feels like he can grow to love Michaela. Michaela says she's already in love with Zach and has told him. You guys, when we talk about unhealthy relationships, Chris and Paige was the worst. Well, besides, it was Eric and I forgot that. Eric and Kate. Yeah. Those two relationships were very equal. Was the worst when the guys were, having sex with these girls and telling them not to tell nobody and, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But this is the worst emotional roller coaster, I think, in history.
Not Chris and Paige. Don't be Chris and Paige.
Well, he focused more on sex. But no, this with Michaela, and even Zach had said it, she's very up and she's very down. She went from, I don't even want to salsa dance with you, to, I'm in love with Zach. I'm happy. So, that was their thing. We just gonna let that go. That's what it is. Then it went to Rachel and Jose. And, Rachel told her story about when she told Jose she loved him. And Jose pretty much agreed. They look like they back in a really healthy, happy place. Like, it's not a fake thing with them two. I think it's real. Ryan and Brett. Ryan went off on this real deep spiel about how he's in care and like with Brett.
Right.
And Brett, she's feeling defeated. Because I was just telling the hubby, and I might have said it on the camera, like, when he was taking her on anniversary, his face said, "Get me out of here."
Yeah.
While he was sitting there, he was listening, he was doing the romantic thing, his face was like, "Get me out of here." So I think Brett really is feeling it, and basically she said her heart is open, and she just left it. She's going through emotional about her dog right now.
Yeah.
Gil said he's on the path to fall in love with Mirla. And you guys, I have to say I may have been wrong about, this is the one I might have been wrong about. But my girl Mirla is coming up like a champion. She said, remember her whole thing was about you choose to love your person. And she basically said she's going to choose to love Gil. At the table, in front of everybody.
Yeah.
She complimented him all night without saying one thing mean. Did you notice that? Like, Mirla always has something bad to say. The wine is warm.
Oh, sure.
She will find it. So those two were very dreamy-eyed towards each other. And Brett turns around and looked at Gil and said, "You're already in love. Falling, you're already." And so, those two look like, I think I might have been wrong. They might actually say yes on D-Day.
Yeah.
And unexpectedly, my favorite couple, they're always in trouble. Bao and Johnny. So they had already came in pretty off balance. You know what I mean? You could kind of tell. I think they probably must have had an argument earlier that day or on their way over. You could kind of tell. So when they got to the table, Johnny gave Bao a flower out of the table setting. And, everybody kind of chucked it off or whatever. But whatever was going on was really in his head. So when Bao started talking about, she said, "I do this and I do that, blah, 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 blah. I'm trying. My husband doesn't, connect with intimacy."
Yeah.
And that, when I tell you guys, Johnny looked like a tomato because he was so red with anger about her saying these things. When it was his turn to talk, he said, "You know what? I have a lot to say, but I'm going to say it to my wife first." So everybody could feel the tension at the table. Zach ordered more wine. So he ends up basically excusing himself because he was about to explode at any moment. And long story short, his buddy Jose, they like BFFs, they bros.
Yeah.
Came out to check on him. And basically he called Bao a liar, a manipulator, and something else he said. All these really nasty, negative things. And ladies and gentlemen, she might not be picture perfect, but she's not none of those things.
Yeah.
If she said she's doing these things and she didn't, maybe he needs to ask her, when did you do it? Because, she's a spreadsheet person.
Yeah.
She likes to check things off her list. So maybe remind her, maybe she didn't put you on her list.
Yeah.
But anyway, it wasn't worth all of that. And he was really on fire. So they left. They actually showed them leaving while everybody else was still in having fun. And, he still held the door open and stuff for her. But he was livid. He wants this marriage to be over in this moment. And I have to say, the hardest part about watching the show is people who believe they are mature. Their immaturity comes out when you start watching this. And part of Johnny's issue is he's very self-centered, I'm learning. He's cool, he's lighthearted, and he's a fun person. He's a really good guy.
Yeah.
But he's self-centered because he's been alone for 8 years. He hasn't had a roommate, a girlfriend, or none of that in 8 years. He's been focused on his career and getting his space together for his wife. And now that she's here, it's going to take him a while to adjust. And I'm surprised. I thought Bao was going to be the one who wasn't going to move along well.
Yeah.
Because it
ended up being Johnny.
Yeah, because she was the one at the wedding who had the face, remember?
Yeah.
And she went all crazy because he bought her some kind of a
jersey.
Yeah. She was losing it. So I thought she was going to be who Johnny is being in this relationship. Picking him apart. But not at all. So you guys, with that being said, let's do a little. We 30 days
30
in.
days, yep.
All right, let's get these predictions out the way. Let me call the couple out, and then we're gonna make our prediction. for the halftime season.
Halfway through.
All right, you want to go first? We're going to do Mirla and Gail.
Well, I think they're going to make it. I think they're going to make it now.
Well, I said in the beginning, not. But I think this is the couple I was wrong about. I think today, what, the 29th?
Yeah, but when they come back on, they're going to have 3 weeks left.
Yeah, so, okay.
So by the end of October, they should be come to a decision.
Yep. So what about...
Michaela and Zach?
Yep.
I say no.
Yeah, I said no from the beginning, and I still say not together because it's too emotional. It's gonna be too much. He gonna be crying all the time, and she gonna be busting stuff up.
Brett and Ryan.
Actually, I was gonna do Johnny and Bob.
No, let's say them for last.
You want to say
they the hardest one to pick?
Hold on, okay. That's okay. Well, Brett and Ryan is pretty easy.
No.
Yes. When I started with this couple, I called them my wild card. Because I couldn't catch a vibe with them. But now after watching and seeing how, at first I thought
it's only 4 couples?
No.
Who am I missing?
Rachel and Jose.
Okay, yeah.
At first I thought that wait a minute, babe. I thought that Ryan would do the right thing and get himself together to stay in the marriage because he wanted to be married so far.
Yeah.
But I'm learning that that's not the case.
Rachel and Jose.
All right, wait a minute. I gotta make my my predictions. I gotta write them down because this year we gonna see how right we were. I ain't do yours. Let me see. I need to do yours. You said not together either, right?
Who? You know Rachel and Jose?
No, Brett and Ryan. You said not, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, we gonna see because every year we do this and then we don't even write it down. All right. So Rachel and Jose, I had that they would not stay together.
They I got I'm on the fence about them.
they turned into the wild card.
If they don't have no more problems, they are gonna stay together. But if they have one more issue, I don't see them staying together.
So for me,
it depends on what happens in the next 2 or 3 weeks with them.
I'm gonna say.
So my thing will change. May change on them.
Well, you know what? Overall, I'm gonna say no. At first, I was gonna change and say probably on D-Day they would say yes, but they wouldn't make it after that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no because I don't believe Jose can change that quickly.
Yeah.
And one more bad blow up, Rachel, she can't handle that because that happened too much to her in the past.
Val and Johnny.
Finally, my favorite couple. I've been yes from day one, but I'm honestly just blown away by how
Johnny
is acting.
Well, right now, as of this point, I'm going to say no.
What?
I'm going to say no. At this point, I'm going to say no just because of Johnny. So, they also is going to depend on the next 2 or 3 weeks. But they're more of a no than Rachel and Jose are to me. They're more of a no. Rachel and Jose to me are like 50-50. But right now, if you had to do a level, Johnny and Bao are on the no side. But
no.
To me,
I think I still would lean 75% towards yes.
Nah.
Here's the thing.
I don't believe it.
Johnny blows up in moments. He's like Michaela.
Yeah. In
the moment, it's raw. But then 5 minutes later, they sitting down eating dinner together.
So the next 2 weeks for you is going to determine it.
It's their culture is for them to stay together. His friend said, "Get it together. Y'all need to stay together." I think as long as their family, maybe they're not as in touch with their family support.
If they stay together,
it's gonna be the family.
No, it's gonna be just for the TV for the show, and then
break up later.
because we forget about everybody after
not
to
anymore.
go off, but they don't have to come back and do the after stuff.
Right.
So
I
now
don't
they may get divorced after everything is over with. They might stay together.
Those
for sure.
two, if they're gonna get a divorce, they're gonna get it on D-Day.
No.
Yes. If they make it past that, it's gonna get easier because the cameras ain't there to push them to their emotional, nervous points.
Yeah.
Because Johnny, I think this camera is weighing him down, and we've seen this with a couple of people. They pretty decent people, but having those cameras follow them around, it puts a lot of pressure on them to look a certain way, do a certain thing at a certain time, and these emotional outbursts are the results of it. Yeah. So I think with Johnny, Bao was just calm in general. Her demeanor is super calm. She'll hit serious before she get angry. Yeah. Whereas Johnny, he like the bro. What's up, y'all? Blah, 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 blah. You stepped on my sneakers. That's Johnny. Johnny is like a bro. So I think if they make it to D-Day, they're gonna stay together. But Johnny gotta get it together. I'm still on a yes for them for now.
Are you ready to wrap this up?
Of course, little baby. So, ladies and gentlemen,
y'all let us know in the comments what y'all think gonna happen.
You should put the poll up tomorrow.
Yeah, we're gonna put a poll up.
It's halfway.
Yeah, I'm gonna put a poll up with all the couples, and you have to put which couples. I figure it out, but it'll be a poll in our community section on the YouTube page pinned. So y'all let us know which couples y'all think. Let's do it like this. We'll say a 1. I'll see how I do it. Yeah. But y'all will see. It'll be self-explanatory. It'll be one thing if you think they're gonna stay together. It'll be another thing if not. But other than that,
you might have to do each.
We'll figure it out.
Each couple separate, yes or no.
Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the video.
Don't forget to comment down below and go to the community and hit that poll so we can see. Now y'all gotta do it this week so we can see the answer before next week. Yeah. Not.
Make sure y'all like and subscribe to the video. Comment below. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.